Appreciate you being, and thank you for our sponsor, the Sports Corner. Stopping in and making up those Shamrocks CG. We'd like to take a moment to thank our educators and attendants. Please give them a round of applause. We'd also like to give a special thank you to the Bears, #1 fan, Kevin. Earlier this season, our community lost one of our youth M&M County players. Kevin was kind enough to write our organization a letter expressing his condolences and has traveled here tonight to be with us in Marinette. Let's give him a round of applause. Now, for tonight's match, we have the Marinette Bears against your M&M Shamrocks. For Marinette, in goals, Dustin Davidson. On the defensive side, Nolan McCurtain. Connor McLaughlin. At the forward positions, Mike Stevens, James Buckle, and Appletine Buckle. And now, for your M&M Shamrocks. In that computer name, starts another 2-1, Adam Lindemann. At defense for Marinette, starts at number 36, Danny Sullivan. At defense for Sheboygan, starts at number 22, Marshall Walker. At wing from Alaska, starts at number 24, Vernon Mason. At center from Marinette, and one of your captains, number 14, Adam Lillard. And finally, at wing from Sylvester, starts at number 77, Tim Lillard. At this time, we ask anybody who's able to please rise, tremble up with your hats and banners. We invite you to salute as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on in to the Marinette Rec Center here as the M&M Shamrocks play host to the Fond du Lac Bears. On their way right away there, Lemery will chop that one forward and give chase. First on it will be Buchholz for the Bears. Pushed out a little bit there, chased down by Mason around the side, trying to break that one out past Sullivan, but unsuccessful. He'll chop it back in. Able to bank that one off the glass. Up and out there was McLaughlin. Nearly got it all the way down there, but some help from LaHillier behind to slow that down. Picked off near center ice by Buchholz again, and he'll be chased down in the corner here by Walker for the Shamrocks. Sullivan on the far side, looking to break that one out just a little bit too strong and all the way down for an icing. Bring it to the far end here. Lemry and Spees, the two off the draw there, at least it appeared to be. We'll try that again here to the left-hand side of the Shamrocks netminder, Lindemann, this evening. That one won cleanly to the boards, picked up by Malachi Buchholz, passed across. The backhand clearing effort there by Walker, got away from him a little bit, but it'll force a regroup on the other side. Spees circles with it now, looking for somewhere to go. A little bit of pressure from Lemry there. Good, quick move of the stick up high by LaHillier, I should say, to chop that one down as it's poked into the zone by Jonas Buchholz. Now, Lemry forwards through, looking in the direction of Mason. He'll tap that one on, and Shamrocks will go get some fresh legs. Starting from down low, McLaughlin trying to feed that one up. Picked off by Bricks, and he'll offer a shot quick on net. Out of the corner now, curling with it there was Bachman. And this will be McLaughlin again for the Bears, putting that one all the way down. Touched upon just enough to negate the icing, and Olsen will gather it in behind his own netminder. Makes his way up the boards there, pinched off by Wilson. And now looking to feed far side. Bachman there, gets that one in deep. It'll be chased down by Will Jannon, but not before it's redirected by McDermott. Chased after by Beekman there, but held in by Bachman. Now chopped out across center. Olsen will curl and regroup. He'll drop that one off the boards. Looked like he was going across, but he'll drop it for Cook instead. And now this one back the other way. And carried on by Wilson. Wilson trying to backhand that one towards center. Well defended there by Olsen. Got it out in front, but a good job by Cook to poke it away and keep it out of danger in front of the net. Grab now out to the point for Rumplinger, and a shot gathered up by Lindemann. So on the right-hand side of Lindemann, it'll be Cook on the draw for the Shamrocks with a little bit of help from Enright. Gets that down low on the stick of Eli, and he'll send all the way to the other end for Knutson. Giving chase behind is Cook there. Some help from Enright to keep it deep. That one there bopped out in front in the crease and quickly covered up. Davidson and net. Face off to the left-hand side of Davidson. Buchholz there to take that one on for the Bears side as it's chased into the corner by Moore. Moore's centering attempt deflected, picked up by Bieberitz behind the net. That one bounces up, glove down. Bit of a scramble in front, and Spees will be the man to pick it up. Spees bouncing puck far side, able to get it onto the stick of Buchholz. And now out in front, picked off there by Moore, but poked away. Bieberitz does a good job to free that one up and onto the stick of Francis. Now off the wall, looking for Bieberitz again. It'll go long, but forcing McLaughlin to give chase for the Bears. Buchholz back the other way, and now on to Spees. Spees sets up, looking for a shot, feeds out across the top for the other Buchholz, and shot kicked aside. Good to the point. McLaughlin, a shot there, deflected aside, chased down by Francis. Backhands onto his partner Hughes, and then to Bieberitz along the boards. He had time there, and that one got poked out of the reach of Eli, and now setting up there. Spees lofted one. That just went off the shin pads of Eli, now picked up by Mason. From behind his own net, looking for LaHillier, and just a touch out of reach towards the end of the period. I think that would have been moving slow enough to gather it in, but not on ice this fresh. So we'll bring it back down to the other end on the icing call. Short bench on the Fond du Lac side tonight. Just a single 5-man line change in reserve, so be a test of conditioning for the away team in this one. Rumplinger there, a shot, didn't quite make it to the net, but off the end boards, Lindemann will cover it up anyway. Off the draw there, a shot from Grabe, and now Sullivan trying to force that out, gets some assistance from Mason, but on the far side, Rumplinger the only one there. Trying to walk through that, Grabe on the far side again. Now Beekman was able to get that out to the point, and the deflection there picked up by Lemry, headed back the other way. He's got a couple men with him. Tries to make the move down low, but a good defensive play by McDermott. Yeah, by McDermott there, and that one almost broken out. Chased down by LaHillier. That one will sneak through out into neutral ice. Going back to get it will be Mason for LaHillier. LaHillier forced to retreat a little bit there and use the one touch from Sullivan. No icing as it was caught up in the skates of Walker as he went down, but in the midst of the Shamrocks change, that will get wrapped around. Bricks will forward on down, handled by Lindemann, but perhaps not exactly how he wanted, and able to recover in time to kick aside the shot from Sable. Johnson now looking for Bachman on the near side. He'll do the little give and go breakout, and the captain will carry it across center ice, working his way in there against McLaughlin. Down low, short angle shot there, gloved, but bopped back down, and a wraparound attempt from Johnson there also sent aside. Putting on the miles in this one, Johnson able to corral near center ice. He'll do a little give and go off the boards there, just this side, the center ice, and send it in deep before heading for the change. Quick pressure there in the form of Cook. Able to keep the puck deep while the line change was completed. Curling, Bachman, rebound out in front. A good shot effort there from Cook. It was a juicy rebound on that backdoor side, but Davidson able to keep that one in front of him. Spees and Cook, the two at the draw. That one went forward. McLaughlin on it quickly, able to get it to his partner, who sends it out across center. Gathered in there by Will Jannon, and now off the boards for Enright. Enright stops short, passes through to Cook. Cook corrals the bouncing puck and centers it. Nobody was there except for Jonas Buchholz, who now feeds out the far side, and it's picked up by, I would assume, his brother on the go through, and he'll sneak that one through the 5-hole of Lindemann on the far end for the first goal of the evening. A good effort after getting inside the zone there to make a move back to the net and finish it. This one now picked up. Carried through again, a backhand there, didn't quite make it. Enright was trying to chase it down, and now from the point, a shot from McLaughlin. Ricochets around the far side. Knudsen looking to feed up for Cook. Cook will have to curl to try and retrieve, and coming through Spees to gather this one in and reset. He'll go far side on the saucer pass. There to poke it back the other direction was Hughes. Knudsen carried into the slot before having it poked away, and now fed on for Spees again. Spees, a shot from near the top of the circles and swallowed up in the chest protector of Lindemann. Off the draw on that one, trying to feed it. That was Eli, and now gathering it in. Francis feeds up onto the stick of Moore. Moore lofts that one Bieberitz keeps it down low, able to recover his stick. There was more, and out at the point now. Walk from Eli, and kicked aside, picked up. Grabe trying to feed that one through, waved off as it went through traffic. Down low, Sable trying to feed to the front of the net, picked off by Bieberitz. He's headed back the other way. Was looking for the pass there, but nobody with him, so he'll carry in alone, at least for a moment. And now Moore will send deep and go for fresh legs. Curley McDermott feeds up and onto the stick of Sable, who carries across center ice under some harassment from Lemry. Grab at the point, able to get it clean and send to his defensive partner, who makes a move around Bieberitz, who is on his way for a change anyway. Now backdoor, a feed through, looking for Sable. Nearly perfect setup, but just not quite quick enough to make it through. And now LaHillier feeds through, looking to get that one up and onto the stick of Mason. Picks it up down low, curls out in front, looking for Lemry on the give back, and well defended once again. A pause there, fed on for Sable, broken up by Mason. And now curling in retreat, Spees, as a few players exchange on the bench. Spees down low, feeding back for the middle. Nobody there but a mass of green, and able to kick that one out across center was Mason again. Mason for LaHillier. Coming down, got one man to beat, and McLaughlin, who will chase him to the far side. A backhanded effort there, goes off the wrong side of the twine and all the way around back out to center ice. Handled there by Walker, picked off by Spees. Under some pressure from LaHillier, offers a shot off the crossbar and down, but on the safe side. And Lindemann scrambled, trying to find something there, and from behind the net. Buchholz again puts that one in. I think that may have banked off of a Shamrocks defender out in front. Tough to tell with the traffic, but used the chaos, and Bears are up 2-0 in this one. Retreating with it, McLaughlin there, banks off the boards, now feeds through. Spees picks up across the middle, and a shot high, but gloved down by Lindemann. Bricks in there on the draw. He'll manage to get that for Will Jannon, who feeds across for Johnson. Lofts one all the way down, and bouncing gathered in by McLaughlin. Now cross ice pass picked off there. Fed back to Johnson, who's met at the blue line, but able to pick it up was Bachman, but not able to get it all the way to the net. Now it's Spees for the Bears, back in the other direction. 3-on-2. Feeds through onto the stick of Buchholz, and that one onto the Shamrocks bench. Off the draw there, finds its way back to Olsen, banks off the boards there, was trying to feed it past Sable, couldn't get it to go, and now Enright will pick up the loose puck and feeds for Knudsen. Knudsen looking to make his way through McDermott, had it poked away, and it'll be chased down by Cook. McDermott and Cook now battling, trying to come away with it. Instead, it will be Grab who fires across, looking to feed that on to Sable, but Olsen's there to pick it off. Now Cook trying to make his way through, and good defensive effort by Rumplinger, and Will Jannon will gather in his own zone now and start the breakout once again. Knudsen didn't like the look of it, so he'll let Enright start it. Tapped on through to Will Jannon, and now Cook. Cook circling, trying to find some room there. Poke through by Enright. Manages to corral it back in front again, and a shot there. Poked aside by Davidson. Good effort by Enright to get a shot off, but Davidson still managing to keep that one on the right side. Little three-man cycle down low there, almost like you do in practice with a single defender in the middle, and Lindemann equal to the task on the shot from Sable. On the draw there, Moore manages to get it back and onto the stick of Eli, who wraps around looking for Bieberitz, who's quickly met by Buchholz, and now Eli will try again. This time banks off the skates of Moore and picked up by Greb and walks that one in. He's got Sable on the backside. Fans on the first shot, I don't think intentionally. And now Sable will pick up from the corner, looking to feed out in front again, and that one finds its way into the glove of Lindemann. Face off to the right side of Lindemann. Moore and Spees, the two on it. Moore managed to sort of kick that one through, but only as far as McLaughlin at the point, and now Spees crawling through, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Ran into the skates of Moore, and a shot offered from the far side by Buchholz. Off the glass from McLaughlin, able to get it through. It'll be put in deep, and there to gather it in is Mason. He'll feed for Eli, trying to chop it up the boards there, but held in by Buchholz and put on Lindemann. Spees and Lemery, the two on the draw to the right side of Lindemann, and that one poked through. LaHillier got Chase on it real quick. Picked it up cleanly. He'll send far side for Mason. A shot there again, kicked aside by Davidson. Lemery comes in, trying to pick it up. He'll be chased to the corner by one of the two Buchholz, and be picked up by the other, nearly getting that one out. Lemery able to use the feet to keep that one going, trying to take it down deep, and this time it'll be Buchholz who pokes it through. Able to chase him down there initially with Sullivan, but he'll feed on back and onto the stick of his brother before that one goes all the way down. Off the wall there, Sullivan picks up, feeds for Lemery. Lemery walks his way in, feeds onto the stick of Mason. Mason, a shot from down low. Davidson snaps that one and its bounce. Off the draw there, Johnson manages to give to Will Jannon in the back, and this one, Rumplinger will wrap around, held in by Olsen, but tapped out across now for Greb. Work in against Will Jannon. That one blocked bricks, furthers it along and out towards center ice, where McDermott will corral. Feed for Rumplinger, but it'll be Bachman who picks it up and carries it in now. A little bit of harassment there from Sable, and a lofted backhand gloved down by Davidson. 6:35 remaining in the first period of play. Face off to the right-hand side of Davidson. That one there won back by Beekman. Now wrapped around, Greb will try and work the breakout there with Johnson pinching down and attempting to hold. He'll get some help from Rumplinger, feeds across for Sable. Sable slipped up a little bit there on a pile of snow outside the Shamrocks bench, and that'll lead to an offsides. Beekman set up there to work against Cook. Cook pushes forward, but instead it'll go around for Rumplinger, who sends that one hard and off the glass all the way around. Olsen gathers, backhands. Sable will pick that one off and carry in deep along the boards all the way around. Harassment from Will Jannon there, not enough to stop him, but now it will be Will Jannon able to carry this one out across. Sends from all the way outside, bounces around the back of the net. Rumplinger a high end-over-end backhand all the way down. Icing waved off. I think they're going to say that Eli was close enough to that one. And he'll crisply send that one up to Knudsen, who makes his way through. Pauses, looking for some room there near the top. He wanted end right. Instead, Sable will be going back the other way with it. Shot there, up and over the shoulder, and the net off the glass and all the way back out to McLaughlin on the other end. that one, offered by Hughes from near center and picked up behind the net now by McLaughlin again. Lindemann from the Shamrocks net, pointing out the floaters deep in the neutral zone as Sable brings this one through, now flanked by those two who were awaiting the stretch pass. Instead, it'll be a shot snapped up in the glove of Lindemann. 2-0 still the lead to the visiting Bears. 4:57 remaining in the first period. That one held in at the point by McLaughlin. And then put back by Buckholz. McLaughlin at the point again. Some pressure coming there from Francis. Delayed high stick on the puck, and the touch-up from Hughes will negate that. Now as Moore walks in, tries a shot. A nice, easy pitch and catch there right into the glove of Davidson. Face off to the left hand, or the gloved side of Davidson. Lemry a little upset with himself on that one as it split the D and went all the way back down. Gathered in by Eli, and now Hughes helps him out. Feeds across far side, kicked up by Mason. LaHillier able to get a touch on that one before getting hit. Now bouncing puck, gathers in again. Takes a step away from one, but not done yet. Able to feed it out in front in the direction of Mason, but on the far side, Buckholz will carry on. He'll make his way all the way in and around Eli there, and the shot will go wide. Mason will feed on to LaHillier. Rumplinger directing traffic there as the rebound ricocheted to the far side, picked up by Buckholz again. Of the 10 skaters, 3 share that name, so the odds are it's one of them. Rumplinger, a shot there deflected off the stick of Hughes and out of play. Broken piece of lumber on the far side as well. We'll get that cleared up. Bring it to the right-hand side of Lindemann. This one back for Rumplinger at the point. Offers there, deflected in front by Beekman. Times it's that little innocuous change of pace there that causes some problems, but still kept in front by Lindemann, and we'll try this one again. That one off the boards there, tripped up on it was Walker. And now able to get out across center. Johnson almost had a stick on that one. He'll have to wait for it to come back down to the ice before carrying it through. Bricks acting like a lead blocker on that one and getting a shot off there, Johnson. But again, Davidson keeping it in front of him. Even on shots, according to the scoreboard in the arena here. Lots of traffic in front of Davidson on some of these. Doing a good job in there on the Bears' end. This one, all give and go, ends up back on the stick of Beekman, who makes his way around Sullivan, or at least attempts to, before the combination of Bricks and Johnson are able to get that one out on the far side. High backhand, chopped up and over. Bachman had to wait for that one to come down, and by then there was some company involved, and fed up onto Cook. Cook shadowed by Sable, trying to find a way to feed that through to Knutson on the backside. Nearly did. Bouncing puck corralled down low by Cook again. He'll try the near side, and that one banked off, and Sullivan will have to chase down in the neutral zone, but fumbled and grabbed now back the other direction. Sullivan all over him. Tried the backhand, had that corner of the net open, just a little bit wide, and now Cook back the other direction. Working his way up, hassled there by Sable. Taking it up now, McLaughlin. Continues to put pressure on behind the net. Knutson will reverse direction to avoid Rumplinger. Feeds out in front, Enright. A good reach there to get a stick on it. Cook trying to push it in once again. Lots of traffic handful of opportunities, and that one will go all the way down for an icing. There are some days that the puck seems to bounce away from your stick no matter what you do. This, or at least that shift, wasn't one of them for the Shamrocks, but also seemed to bounce right into the pads of Davidson as Knudsen tries to chase that one down. He'll leave it along the boards for more. Shot deflected. And Wright will go chase down backside. Shot there, deflected off the back of the net. Minute 30 remaining in this period. As Knudsen tried to get that one out in front. Bouncing puck now will come out towards center. Off the boards for Olsen. He'll put it back in, but in the tag up. Regaining possession are the Bears. And Buchholz will fire up in the direction of Speeds. Olsen got the first stick on it down low. He'll have to fight for it and picks it up, wraps around the boards in the direction of Enright. Enright looking across for Knudsen. Instead found one of the book holes, and that one stopped. Bouncing puck there came off the glass, kind of odd, and a shot offered by Buchholz. 1 minute remaining in the period as Will Jannon tries to fight that one away, and a shot from Spees ricochets up high and wide. LaHillier on the far side nearly managed to get that one out, but not quite. Now Will Jannon will do so on the next effort. Enright across for Moore. Moore facing a wall of gray jerseys there, trying to feed through to LaHillier, who is jockeying for position coming down the slot. And instead it will be McLaughlin for the Bears to feed down. 30 seconds remaining in the period. Actually, as I should say, Spees finally manages to get that one out of the zone. McLaughlin now will gently put that one in. Able to hold it along the boards there was Hughes, and he'll feed along for Mason, who comes down, tried to work that one to the backhand, but poked aside by Davidson. Well, just 6 seconds remaining as Rumplinger holds this one behind his net, and it seems like everyone content to let the period end on that note. 2-0 to the away team following the first 20-minute interval. Shots 15-13 in favor of the home Shamrocks. We'll take a step away here during the intermission, get some fresh ice, be back in a few minutes with the middle third of this contest.
For the Union Sports Motor, please join us in the community. We also want to thank our following sponsors. MPB sponsors, Sports Motor, and Next Level Riverside, our national sponsors. Bricks Plumbing, Rocks, On John, Rapid Fitness, Iowa, Philly Heck, No Flyer, Your Own Service, The Lot Hot Lane, and New Beauty Rental. Our regular sponsors, GLHL Houseplates, Samuel Westford National.
And we are back. Second period underway already as Spees wraps around and sends that one back in the direction of McLaughlin. And across to Buckles, back to McLaughlin, up for Buckles. And that one sent down by Mason. Chased down now by LaHillier, trying to find a way to get that one. And now instead Spees will carry in on the near side. Pressured from Sullivan, feeds out in front in the direction of Buckles, but cleared. Picked up by Sullivan, gets that one across the red line, fires a shot deflected right away, but picked up by LaHillier and chopped at, sent towards the corner. Spees now surveys, looks, feeds up and onto the stick of McLaughlin. Fed through for Lemery, retreating, fires across, tapped on by LaHillier. Spees picks up and sends back the other way. Chasing it down now, Walker curls. Looking for Hughes, tapped through by Buckles. And Sullivan will feed on for Lemery. Lemery trying to find somewhere to go with it. Instead it will be McDermott who carries across, feeds far side for a grab. Wanted to get that one back and onto the stick. Sable finally got the shot off there, but kicked aside and wrapped hard around for LaHillier to pick up and carry in the other direction. Will Jannon now works his way in. A shot there, deflected up and out of play, and that one not going to come back down. Be Beekman and Bricks, the two on the draw. Bricks tried to go right on net with that one, but was stopped by the stick of Beekman, and that one cleared out across center, whereas Olsen will feed on for Bachman on the far side. Off the boards now for Johnson, walking in there. Almost had that one taken away by McDermott. Instead, a shot offered and a rebound retrieved. That one there kicked aside by Davidson again. Olsen will backhand in the direction of the net. Instead, it's picked up by Rumplinger down low. Able to hold in for a moment was Bachman. Handled by Beekman near the blue line. As coming through on that was Cook, and now Cook manages to curl away with the puck and comes in there, poked at by Rumplinger. Able to regain possession down low, feeds out to the center of the slot there, and nobody's home except for a gray jersey. Knudsen now trying to feed that one through, deflected out and across center. Greb will pick up under pressure from Hughes. Will be poked aside by Will Jannon. Hughes looking for Enright up the side. Nobody there. All the way down, and the icing will be called. One picked up behind by Eli. He'll work his way out from behind the net, picking up speed as he moves through neutral ice. Makes a move towards center there, got it on the forehand, but right into the chest protector of Davidson. That one to the corner from Spees, able to get down there was Cook. And Buckles able to feed that one on to another. Knudsen will push him off of that puck, reverses Enright. Puts the brakes on, goes off the wall there, onto the stick of Knudsen. Managed to poke it in, but only momentarily before McLaughlin sends it back the other way. And that shot there deflected up and out of play once again. tied up on the draw there. Moore tried to curl with it. Instead, Spees had a shot right off of it. Kicked aside, and Spees now will gather in. Walks around the blue line, offers one up from the top. Picking that up is Hughes, deflecting off the boards all the way down, gathered in by McLaughlin, and now back the other way. Fed off for Buckholz, who takes a shunt from Eli. Hughes off the boards, furthered on by Bieberitz and in deep. McLaughlin reverses in the direction of a Buckholz tandem. Bieberitz manages to push that one on for Moore, trying to fight his way through. Couldn't quite make it. McLaughlin to the far side. Now Bieberitz picks it up near center. He'll put that one in deep, and the Shamrocks will go for a change as Buckholz picks that one up down low. Forwards along, looking for Sable. Sable met by Eli just inside the zone, who pokes it back through. Sullivan, good job there to further it onto the stick of Lemry, who will now chase it down into the corner. Some traffic there, but able to keep it. LaHillier tried to feed it back through to him, and now Spees will feed up onto the stick of Buckholz across ice. Walker will keep the pressure on him all the way down into the corner, and now a loose puck. Sable and LaHillier will be the two in the foot race. Rumplinger out at the point, manages to separate and keep that one in front. Loose puck. And good defensive effort there by Sullivan and Lindemann to keep that one away. LaHillier tripped up coming out of the zone. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling his way through center ice. Drops off for Lemry there, and a shot hard and off the glass. Sullivan visibly frustrated as that one slides past all the way down. Grabbed the first one on it, but met there by Walker to free it up and have it go the other way. This time a foot race between Chamberlain and a shot there offered, or Bachman I should say, a shot that was kicked aside again. Sable now trying to play keep away from Bachman. Will manage to get it through and onto the stick of Beekman. Beekman, that one poked aside there by Bricks, who curls, looking for somewhere to go with it. Has Bachman far side. Makes his way past Rumplinger, but caught up a little bit in the feet. So unable to gather the puck in on the other side. A Sable coming in now. Walker tripped up for a moment, but able to regain his feet in time to assist in the defense and pick that loose puck up in the corner. Goes off the boards there, looking for Bricks. Instead, it'll be held in on the far side by Sable. Walker able to get that one fed up onto Bricks. Bounces off of the skate of Mason and in deep. McLaughlin will send that one hard around the boards towards Greb. And walk in. Good job with the skates there by Will Jannon. Frees that one up. Passes it out towards center. Was looking for Enright. Enright able to put enough pressure on, forcing McLaughlin to reverse direction in order to be on that one. Greb feeds through onto the stick of Beekman. And now Olsen back and forth up and down the ice. These two teams go right now as Cook forwards onto Enright. Enright had that one poked away by Buckholz at the last moment. Greb there, had that one poked away by Olsen, and we'll go back and forth again. Finally, it'll be Lindemann for the Shamrocks to get a glove on top of that one after the end-to-end foot race. Again, with the short bench of the Fond du Lac Bears, if I'm the Shamrocks, I'm more than willing to play the 200-foot back and forth game and try and tire out that limited number of legs on the other side, as that one is chopped at by Malachi Buckholz and covered up by Lindemann. 12:25 remaining in the second period. 2-0 in the contest to the Fond du Lac Bears. No scores so far in this period as Spees wraps around there and tries to end that trend, but firmly into the chest protector of Lindemann. We'll try this again. Buckholz and Moore will step up to the dot. And Buckholz back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to another Buckholz, who's met by Bieberitz, but not before he manages to poke that one in deep. And now he'll pinch around, carries that one, and picks it up behind Shamrock's netminder. Looking for somewhere to go with it. He was going to walk that one in front by himself, and now bouncing it out across center. McLaughlin to Spies. Spies shadowed by Moore there and feeds on down and firmly onto the stick of Buckholz. Made it in behind. Delayed penalty upcoming after the shot. Davidson makes his way back to the bench for the extra attacker on the delayed call as the puck ricochets back the other way. Greb now circling with it, drops it off for Spies, and Spies coming up on the rush. 6-on-5 with the penalty yet to be blown as that one banks off the pads of Lindemann. Able to hold in there was Buckholz. Bieberitz diving for it, but unable to get a stick on it as Spies swoops through and picks it up again. Backdoor was Greb. He was all lined up for it, just couldn't get a decent handle on it now as Buckholz takes a shot, and finally Francis is able to get a touch on it. Hooking will be the call. And the first penalty of the game. Will go against Eli and the Shamrocks. Power play opportunity to extend the lead for the Fond du Lac Bears here, as cutting through on that one was Mason, and he'll send that one about 175 feet on a rope right onto the stick of Davidson. McDermott looks to get that one started, but quickly there. Combination of Mason and Lemery, and now that one floated back all the way down and kicked towards the corner by Davidson again. McDermott will start the power play. Breakout once more with a feed on to Beekman, who goes far side for Sable. Sable across center ice now. Lemery gives him a little tap as Mason forces him to the side, but it's dropped for Greb at the point. Good job getting a stick on that one by Mason, but not able to halt the Fond du Lac possession. Down low, McDermott looked like he was going to walk that one in. Good shot blocked there by Mason on Greb. Coming through was Walker, who manages to clear that one all the way down. Mason will go exchange with Bachman on the bench as this one's fed to Beekman out near center. Slowly working in there, shadowed by Sullivan, who got a little tap on it, but Beekman manages to maintain possession. Now Bachman picks it up. Has time to loft that one. Stopped by the glove of McDermott before it can exit neutral ice, and he'll send on to Sable. Quick regroup on that one as Sable carries down low again, shadowed. Rumplinger up towards the top now. Drops off, and a shot by McDermott. Kicked aside and quickly picked up by Sable. Almost like he knew it was coming. Sable around the back of the net. A little bit of a poke there from Sullivan. And that one will drift outside neutral ice. Just 15 seconds remaining on the power play for the Bears as Greb tries to drop that one off. And Sable will come through and pick it up. Walks back out in front. Grab there. Kicked aside. Almost had the 5-hole. And stretching out there. Full extension by Lindemann. Able to keep that one in front of him. And get on top of it. 5 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Will be Knutson. And Buckholz on that one. A shot from Buckholz out at the point. Enright able to get a stick on it there. Tried to clear, but Spies will pick it off. That one aside and wide. Knutson manages to chop that one through. McLaughlin retreating. Pressure coming from Enright as they circle behind the Fond du Lac net. Coming in for help was Cook, but all that did was force the hand up and on to Buckholz. The shot there. Spies picked it up in the corner. Sends to Buckholz around back. That one picked off by Knutson. A little bit of a chop there from the third Buckholz as he tries to make his move through McDermott. Held up for a second there. Good second effort. Got it back in front and a shot. Out in front there. Loose puck picked up by Buckholz and now carried on. That one out out in front there. Loose puck tapped at. Now Knutson able to pick it up again. Quickly pressured there. Good job using the body to stay in front. Passes down right. Gets it back to the forehand. Low angle shot there. Had a crevice along the post, but it went across the wrong side of the net. A little scrum ensued below. Knutson out in front. Cook had a nice clean shot. Looked like he was trying to beat the 5-hole and couldn't, and Olsen unable to keep that one on this side of the blue line. He'll look to send it back in, but they'll have to go back and regroup. Good job by Will Janin there to keep that one under control as Olsen feeds up for Cook. Cook working through, has LaHillier right down the slot, and LaHillier there, a shot that gets kicked aside. So opportunity coming on the offensive rush now for the Shamrocks, but nothing finding its way past Davidson. Spees with some speed to the other end. That one almost found the small spot over the shoulder on Lindemann. Just a little bit of ring of the net cage steal and out of play. 7:20 remaining in the second period. As they set up for the face-off to the left-hand side of Lindemann. Beekman will push that one forward and chase it down, corralling it in behind. Gets it out in front, and a shot there from Greb set up. I don't know how that didn't go in. I'll be honest, from here with the protective net in the way, I thought it did, but able to keep it out was Lindemann, and all the way down. The icing will be called as that dumping of the puck was just a bit the wrong side of centers. It'll be Lemry and Beekman, the two on the draw again, this time to the right-hand side of Lindemann. The puck dropped there, almost looked like Lemry didn't know it was dropping, and Rumplinger will pick up the loose puck for a shot there, grab another one. Lots of traffic out in front, but it'll be LaHillier who finally gets some space to move with it. Pressure coming from Sable. He's got to work past McLaughlin, tries the low-angle shot down road. It'll bounce off the net and stay pinched back there, at least until Sable picks it up and carries it out. LaHillier now trying to make something happen. Lemry will come over to help separate Sable from the puck. And now Eli feeds on for Mason. Bobbled for a second there, curling. LaHillier trying to get a stick on it, but Greb kind of had a hand in his pocket. And get a stoppage there, bring this one back to center. Beekman and Bricks, the two on it. Bricks will take it back to Sullivan. Sullivan, far side for Bachman. Back to Bricks, makes a move and enters the zone. Trying to make his way through there. An interesting move by Buckholz to hold that one. And now trying to work his way into the zone was Walker. Somewhat unsuccessfully, and Sable back the other way. Crawford grab a shot there. Cairns wide, and loose puck able to be picked up by Walker. Tripped up as he walks across center. Delayed penalty coming now the other way. Not exactly sure about the timing of the whistle there, as I hadn't seen a Fond du Lac touch, but call either way. It'll be Sable to the box, 2 minutes for tripping. First power play opportunity for the Shamrocks on the evening, and it'll be LaHillier trying to force that one through. It'll come back out to Will Janin, and now for Lemry, who goes off the boards onto the stick of Bieberitz. Bieberitz had it separated for a moment, and onto the stick of Buckholz back the other way. He's in behind everybody. Lemry giving chase all the way down. That shot high and wide off the glass, right onto the stick of Lemry. Able to take that momentum back in the other direction. Lemry making his way down in onto the net there. Elevated that one, wanted that high corner. Chopped down, shot back in the direction of the net by LaHillier. Buckholz reaching out there, trying to get enough on it to clear. Couldn't quite, so Spees will help him out. It'll go all the way down. Lindemann will play. A fresh trio up front on the penalty kill for the Bears. Feeding far side. Mason will pick that one up off the wall. Makes a move, trying to work in past McDermott, but he got a stick on it, and it'll bounce out to the point where Will Janin will hold. And now Bieberitz will muscle down low, trying to make his way past one of the Buckholz trio. Out to Lemery. Lemery couldn't quite get it settled down, so he'll field for Will Jannon. Didn't like the shot. Mason on the side there ricochets that one high and off the glass, and that'll also serve as a clearing all the way down. 47 seconds remaining on the Shamrocks power play. I have to say it's the longest rest that I think Sable's gotten all evening, as that one redirected and onto the stick of Johnson. Johnson for Bachman, a shot there, shrugged aside. Coming in on the back door was Knutson, and he had it. Just a bad bounce on the puck, evaded his stick. Bachman able to feed out in front. Johnson finds the 5-hole and breaks the shutout for Davidson. It took more shots than I can count and a handful of great opportunities, but finally the Shamrocks able to put something on the board there during the power play. So that'll bring both teams back to full strength. 4:16 remaining in the second period of play, as that one is sent back onto the stick of McDermott. He'll go off the boards there for Rumplinger, quickly pressured by Francis. A little bit of pep in his step following the goal, as Eli now shadows Beekman on the far side. Sable, again, probably the freshest he's been all night, putting some pressure on there, trying to keep that one away from Moore, fed it on to Beekman. It'll be Bieberitz now for the home team, feeding that one out across center in the direction of Francis. Able to get back on sides just in time as Bieberitz carries in, and a shot there sent to the corner. Moore will be the first one to pick it up right across the net mouth. Make it all the way to the far boards. Tapped back in by Eli, and now McDermott will wrap that one around. Hughes able to hold it. It'll be Rumplinger who gets possession. High end over end. Eli will glove that one down near neutral ice, retreating back. Moore backhanded, but Beekman now feeds for grab. He's got Sable going down the middle there, and a shot there deflected by Hughes. Relieved him of possession of his stick for the moment. And out in front there, a shot offered by McLaughlin. Almost bounced its way through. Sable to McLaughlin again. Another shot. This one gloved down initially by Lindemann. He tried to dive for it, but couldn't, and Sable will do him the favor of putting it back in his pads for the stoppage. Under 3 minutes now with 2:53 left on the clock in the second period. Right-hand side of Lindemann, Lemery and Buckholz look like the two, and it'll come back out to another Buckholz at the point, and that shot up high and out of bounds. Out of bounds, out of play. Same duo this time. Instead, it's one back and onto the stick of McLaughlin. Bounced off the end boards, and Sullivan will try and settle it down, but not quite enough to clear it. Another effort with some help from LaHillier, and he will, but it'll be picked off by Jared Buckholz out across center. Mason feeds for LaHillier. LaHillier wearing Spees across the blue line, manages to feed, and that one will go down into the corner. McLaughlin the man on it. Had a little bit of pressure from Mason, and then a little bump from Lemery. Coming in as Mason puts the brakes on. Almost got the shot off there, but not quite. Centering effort there from Lemery, and a good shot from LaHillier. And off goes the net. Does seem always like those nets come off at just the absolute least opportune times, but we'll try this one again here. Right-hand side of Davidson, able to get it back out to Sullivan was Bricks, and the shot deflected. Spees coming through, trying to defend. Looked like Bricks got a shot off there, but not cleanly. Far side, Buckholz tries to make his way through, and did so, but not well enough to get away. Walker able to slow him down. McLaughlin will chase this one down. Backhands, but picked off by Bachman. Lost it in between the legs there for a moment. And Walker will send back in from out near center. Buckholz out from behind his own net. Makes his way through a handful of Shamrocks players, but Walker able to backhand that one in. Waiting for a moment there was Bricks. for players changing to be on the right side, and Davidson will get a glove on top of this one with just over a minute remaining in the second period. Beekman and Cook the two. That one goes back around. McDermott will pick up. Sable feeds up to the stick of Beekman. He'll carry that one in, working against Will Jannon. Manages to make his way past and down low. Centering pass out in front. Sable got the shot off. And another. Both of them finding the shin pad of Will Jannon and not making it all the way to net. Fanning on it there was Rumplinger with 1 minute left. A diving effort from Cook, able to get that one onto the stick of Knutson. Surveys and a shot there to the wide side. It looked like he was trying to bank that off a pad potentially for Enright. Instead, he'll find the far end boards and make it all the way back out. That one off the glass and potentially the shoulder blade of the official, but carried in on the far side by Beekman once again, trying to make a fake move away from Will Jannon, and does so enough to feed to Rumplinger out at the point. Down low, Greb feeds out in front. Curling Sable almost had Beekman there, and it'll go wide. Rumplinger will come in from the point and pick it up. Centering pass in front, and Lindemann's seen enough of those shenanigans. He'll fall on top of it and get the stoppage. 17.7, we'll call it 18 seconds remaining in the second period. Face-off will come to the right-hand side of Lindemann here. Looks like it'll be Beekman and Lemry, the two on the draw. That one out to the point. Rumplinger doesn't want it, so he'll send for Greb down low, who tries to feed through. Beekman had it for a moment there, and good job by Lindemann to kick it aside. Now Lemry will give chase. 6 seconds, now 4 as he comes into the zone. 3, 2, and the backhand kicked aside. And time will expire as he centered that one back out onto the stick of Mason, but no time for a shot.
That's the end of the second period. 5-2, Shamrocks 1.
2-1 in favor of Fond du Lac to finish the period. In the period itself, the Shamrocks cut the lead in half. Two-thirds of the way through, we'll take a break, freshen the ice, and be back with the final period of regulation after that.
Let's stand up and line. 3 contestants. See if they can make it. At center in the back of the net. It would be $5. Our first contestant is 15. All right, Austin, give it a shot. Here we go. All right, our second contestant is Jackson. Off the post. And our third contestant, Kaden. All right, let's check out our last contestant. Here we go. Just right. Let's give a round of applause. The Poplar Kings in girl uniform. Alcohol sales lead at the 13-minute mark of the third period. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for our victory driver,
And we're just about set here to get underway for the final period. Lemery and Spies, the two off the draw. That one chopped straight ahead and picked up there by Walker. Now chipped out across by Sullivan. He was looking to feed on for LaHillier. Walker now from the corner, trying to muscle his way through. Spies comes in to help, but so does Lemery. That one kicked ahead. Lemery able to get it out across center and was looking to feed for Mason, but couldn't quite. And now it'll come back into the zone. Walker will chase down once more. Across for Sullivan. Surveys that one on a laser up to Mason. Now walks in and a shot there. Offered up, kicked out. Lemery picks it up again. And that one off the boot of McLaughlin. Not all the way to the net. Will Jannon feeds for Mason, curling now. Buchholz fires off the end board, and Olsen will pick it up. Now Will Jannon feeds across, looking for LaHillier, just a little bit out of reach. No icing because it's on net, and Rumplinger will pick up. Well, skating away from the impending pressure of Johnson. Instead, it's Sable across center now. Takes that one, bounces out right in front. But Bachman able to steer it wide, at least for the moment. Chopped out by Beekman there. Looks like Bachman is down. A little slow to get up there was Bachman, but he did get up and make his way back to the bench. Bringing the puck back out to center. And with some help from Knutson, that'll get back to Will Jannon, who comes over to Enright. Enright off the boards for Cook. Cook skates his way through one check, gets the shot off there, but Davidson knocks it down and then gets the glove on top of it. This one coming through. Enright manages to knock it back to Will Jannon at the point, skates to center and gets the shot off, but it gets kicked aside. That one from Enright in the corner. Looked like it had a chance in traffic, but not to be, as Greb now carries on in the other direction. Tees up the shot there, shrugged aside by Lindemann. And now Knutson will chase it down. Poked aside there by Rumplinger. Cook picks up out of the corner, and Knutson, that one got just a little bit redirected. And didn't get the shot off quite the way he wanted. As that one kept in by Eli. Knutson picks up along the boards. Rumplinger puts the hit on him again, as Cook manages to dance his way through, and a backhand pulled just a bit inside. Enright's shot there, kicked aside by Beekman, but he manages to pick it up again. Rumplinger shoves him off of it, but in the tie-up, unable to get a stick on it, so Beekman will pick it up and feed. Sable will have to retreat to get that one out of his skates. And he'll go far side and onto the stick of McLaughlin. Good job there by Knutson on the back check to keep that one in the zone. And now McLaughlin will try again. This time he makes it into neutral ice and feeds through for Sable, who's in behind the D. He's got Greb on the backside, feeds to him, and that one knocked up and over. Almost exactly how you'd want it there, but unable to make it go home. LaHillier now drops back looking towards center. Lemery got a stick on it, but not enough for a shot. He'll try and put it on net. Found its way to Spies, who looked a little bit surprised by it. And now Mason will drop for LaHillier in the corner again. He'll take a hit from Greb, trying to walk through it. Greb now has it. Backhands held in at the point by Hughes. Mason tried to glove that one down, and now up and off the glass. Chasing it down is Spies, but unable to get to it before the icing is called. Bring it back down to the gloved left-hand side of Davidson. Looks like it'll be Buckholz and Lemry, the two on the draw. That one to the corner, picked up by McLaughlin. Off the boards, trying to feed that one through. And instead, went through the legs of Moore out near center, so no icing, and it'll be covered up by Lindemann as Jonas Buckholz was right there. Tied up for a moment, finds his way back to Eli, who sends it out across center. Icing waved off as the momentum not quite there. LaHillier gave a good chase, but it'll get sent back in the other direction on him. Eli carries this one in now, offers in the direction of the net, kind of pins it down low back behind, but is picked up by McLaughlin, who fades on now. Or rather, it was picked off by Mason, but now Buckholz will get a stick on it and manage to clear out across center. Dropping to a knee to slow it was Hughes, and a penalty upcoming here against Bricks in the defensive effort. So, off the draw there, Johnson sent that one, almost had it out of the zone, but McDermott holds in. That one fed on now. Buckholz trying to work his way around. Rumplinger couldn't quite corral it off the board, so Johnson will send it all the way down. Davidson will play it from behind his own net, or play it as so far as to tee it up for McDermott to come back the other way. Off the boards, he finds Spies. Spies curls back to McDermott, who carries in now. Pressured there by Bachman. And Johnson able to get a stick on it for a moment. Now Greb walks a shot there high again. Almost the same spot he hit on that play a little bit ago. Bachman able to hold. Feeds for Johnson. Curling away. Sends that one all the way down. Half the penalty taken care of now with 1 minute remaining as Rumplinger feeds the far side for Greb and tries to make his way past Knudsen, so he'll feed to Spies. Now trying to outrun Cook there. He'll curl and a shot there, bounces aside. To the corner there, Buckholz feeds out to Rumplinger at the point once again. He'll walk it down the middle. That made it way all the way cleanly there. And out in front, Walker will send all the way down for Davidson to play on again. 30 seconds now remaining in the power play for the Bears. Spies to Buckholz. With some speed coming through. Takes a little bump there from Cook, but tries to play back towards center. Good job by Walker to play it aside, but held in by Greb at the point once more. Little pick and roll play there towards the top. And Greb comes in, tries for the shot, and found its way right into Lindemann once again. Just 3 seconds remaining on the Bricks penalty. Lemry and Beekman, the two on the draw. That one to the corner. Will Janin will chase it down, but quickly pressured by Sable. And Olsen will try and feed that one through to Mason, who had just exchanged with Bricks fresh out the box instead. Buckholz now working to the corner. Pressured there. Lemry, that one banked off a couple there. And finally Olsen able to spin it around. Was looking for Lemry. It'll be touched up by McDermott instead. Far side, McDermott puts the brakes on and feeds for Sable. Sable carries across, pressured there by Mason, and takes a little bump from Lemry before the puck's fed back in that direction, and LaHillier manages to pick it up. He'll walk down there. Good speed from McDermott in reverse to force him wide. Lemry now curling towards the top. Blocks Sable's first clearing effort, but his next one off the board successful on to Greb, who drops it in now, looking for Beekman. Not fooled by it there was Eli, who shadowed him through it. LaHillier up the boards. Looking to feed on to Mason, who does a good job there to play his way past Rumplinger. Trying to come back out in front and gets the shot off there, but low angle, and it'll go wide. Lemery will hold in, at least for the moment, but Beekman does a little spinning reverse past Mason. And tapping that one deep. Eli for Rumplinger to try and start things once again. Saucer end to end, and I'd have to imagine, and yep, there it is, the whistle for the icing. Bricks and Spees on this one. Gets chopped out to the point. Eli curls, tries to hold it in. Did so, but instead it finds the stick of Buchholz, who feeds across. Little give and go with Spees there. Sliding effort from Eli. And coming through is Bricks. Puts it onto the stick of Bachman and then on to Johnson. Johnson carries low. That one will go off of the outstretched glove of Davidson and into the netting up above. 11:39 remaining in the third period. Shamrocks still trailing 2-1. Johnson tried to go right on net with that one. It'll be McDermott down low, clearing effort on the glass, stymied by a bounce off of one of the divider pieces, and it's held in. Hughes puts in deep. Johnson, the first man on it, fed back for Bricks, and couldn't quite connect on the shot. That one lofted out across. Spees picks up and carries in. Now going to work against Hughes. Shot wide across the net mouth. Comes to Rumplinger out in front. Pressure from Bachman there to at least push it out into neutralize and force the regroup. And Spees in the retreat. Then picks up Knutson in pressure. That one sent in deep and now picked up down low by Hughes. Hughes looking for somewhere to go with it. Cook feeds on to Knutson. Knutson dropped it back for Cook, who had the momentum, but tripped up a little bit there momentarily, and in the handoff, it finds its way to McDermott. Trying to walk it through to center, had it go wide all the way across. That one lofted, but then gloved down by Buchholz in, and a bit of a pile up. And now Cook feeds on, wanted Knutson, and McLaughlin will feed back for Buchholz the other way. And we'll get a stoppage here. Not entirely sure what the call is going to be. Looks like a few people trying to figure that one out, and Enright's going to go into the box now. So it'll be a power play opportunity for Fond du Lac. And down low, Sable. Up to McLaughlin. Back to Sable, and the shot there deflected off a skate and picked up by Lemery down in the corner. Wrapped around the glass. Grab couldn't quite hold it in, and behind is Mason. He's got to make his way past McLaughlin, and McLaughlin, good job getting the shin pads in front. But on the exchange there, a little bit mistimed, and Lemery was coming down, but offsides instead. Too many men to call against the Shamrocks there, and Wright will be the one to serve it. Lemery swooped through and kicked at that one, and it'll be picked up by McLaughlin and now sent from just over center. Sullivan managed to get that one out. Buchholz will handle on the far blue line and feed for McLaughlin once again. Shadowed to the corner there, forced wide by three men, which means there's a bit of a gap on the far sides for Buchholz to come down, and he'll get a couple shots off there before Lindemann gets on top of it. .104 remaining on the Shamrocks penalty. 9:23 left in the game as that one gets kicked out towards McDermott at the point. Back down towards Grubb. Now McDermott again. Near side for Rumplinger. And a shot there goes all the way to the corner. We'll call it a pass because that's what it ended up being. And now Bachman able to get that one clear and all the way down. 43 seconds. As Davidson may have overplayed a little bit there, and Johnson able to get a stick on the puck. McDermott plays to the far side for Beekman. Beekman now getting things started with 27 seconds remaining on the power play. He'll be met by Cook, who corrals him towards the corner as he backhands what becomes quickly a one-touch pass from McDermott over to Rumplinger and then back, and that one deflected off of the blade of somebody's stick and out of play. .11 seconds left on the power play as Cook ties up there, but the shot came from Spees. Rumplinger now to the corner. Held on to by Knutson, trying to chop that one out and feed it out of the box was Cook. Full strength are the Shamrocks. Buchholz down low, tried to walk the goal line with that one and not able to beat the 5-hole drop. Both teams will be full strength on this one. 2-1, the lead still for the visiting Fond du Lac Bears with 8:09 remaining in the third. Lemry pushed that one forward on the far side. Mason manages to pirouette away with it. Pressure by Buchholz on the far side, but he carries down, feeds across the middle. LaHillier got it in the skates, but couldn't quite corral it into a shooting position, and now he'll feed for Lemry down low. A bit of a scrum will ensue there. And Davidson goes down as the net is kicked off. Not sure if he got caught by a stick there or exactly what happened, but take a moment to reset the helmet. Long face off to his right-hand side. It'll be Lemry and Spees. That one comes right out to Will Jannon, who got the shot off, but caught someone on the way through and couldn't quite make it. Good job there by Mason to hold it in, but only for so long before Buchholz clears and tries to feed on to, I'm going to assume, his brother on the far side. That one picked off by Mason, carries in. Pressure there from McLaughlin, and then picked off by Spees, who sends it in deep. Would have been trying for the icing there, but not going to get that call as Will Jannon feeds across center towards Lemry, who caught it in retreat and thankfully had enough space to do so cleanly. That one shot off the glass there, then picked up by Spees, tries to drop back to the corner, or I should say does drop back to the corner before getting a hug from Lemry. Shot there, deflected by Eli, picked up by LaHillier, and he's got Mason on the far side. Sends it to him, and a shot there. Might be time to stop picking the 5-hole on Davidson, as he's been equal to that task every time so far. 29 times if the shots are correct on the board. As according to that, Shamrocks have 30 shots on goal in this one. To Fond du Lac's 42. Bricks backhands that one, trying to feed to center, got deflected. Eli trying to feed for Hughes, and instead Sable will be the one who gets the shot off there. They get 43 shots on net for Fond du Lac. Bricks will step in here against Beekman as that one goes to the boards. Grab tries to push it deep, does so. Shouldn't say tries, he did. Sable there, quickly pressured by Hughes, but he'll drop for grab down low. Curls didn't like the look of going across through traffic, so instead he'll drop it for McDermott out near the point. Sable walks in, finds the far corner. I think he was looking backdoor for Beekman, but he'll find the back of the net instead and add another goal to the Fond du Lac lead. Cook trying to push that one through for Knudsen. Almost separating Beekman there from it. Instead, Grubb will walk down, trying to feed out in front for Beekman to add another one, and now Enright dishes on to Knudsen. Knudsen coming down the near side, looked for a moment, and fed for Enright on the back door. Cook on the back door. Couldn't quite get it to him, and now Grubb sleeping in behind. Sneaks back there, gets the shot. Blocked away by Lindemann. Curling now, Cook. Pressure from Sable. Enright dishes up and over. Glove down by Rumplinger. Enright will gather this in. Off the boards, looking to feed for Knudsen. Knudsen with a good reach there, picks it up and carries it down low. Working his way away from Rumplinger. In traffic now, tied up, and that one will come out on the far side. Buchholz feeds for another one as LaHillier sends that in deep. Around far side, Mason manages to keep that one in, at least on the first effort, as that one bounces out across center. LaHillier will give chase as Rumplinger carries that one down. LaHillier will put the hit on there near the blue line. The puck comes back in the direction of Walker. And then up for Lemry, who absorbs a shot from Buchholz and finally managed to bank that one in. Davidson will play along towards Buchholz. Lemry will finish that check there in the corner. As the far end, the puck banks off the end glass. Out to the point now. McLaughlin. Spees trying to bank that one in again, almost did so enough to be nervous about it, but Lindemann able to get on top of that. And a timeout called. With 4:02 remaining in the third. And we'll try it again here. Johnson puts that one back to the corner. Will Janin wraps in the direction of Olsen. Lost along the boards there for a bit. Sable will send for Grubb, who sets up a shot there and feeding for Beekman. Unable to put it home, and now fed on to Bricks. For Johnson. Johnson feeding out in front. Crashing in there was Bachman. Decent setup. And trying to spoon across. And dish that one for Will Janin, but a little bit of a bad angle. Now Will Janin will carry in, and that one swallowed up and then played on by Davidson. Walker will try and bring that one in. Ran into a wall of gray there as Greb sends that one end over end into the corner. Spinning there was Bachman trying to feed on for Cook. Walker will carry that in. Cook kicks it up to himself, but only for a moment before it's poked away. And now Enright will hold in and feed to the corner. Cook picks it up, backhands out in front. Knutson gathers it in for Walker. His shot a bit wide and down low. Cook will pick it up, was looking to feed that back to Knutson, who was in the spot. Netminder is pulled, the sixth attacker on the ice now for the Shamrocks. Knutson backhands for Bieberitz, down low as that one's played and then held in by Sullivan. A shot wide and around for Walker. Buckholz sends through, icing waved off there as Sullivan plays it down low on for Bieberitz. Again, empty net. Possession critical here as Walker carries this one ahead. Feeds up for Mason. Mason, no one with him, and now he's got Walker, who he'll just use as a lead blocker on that one and send it hard off the end glass. Man in front. 1:51 remaining in the game as Hughes offers that shot, bounces out in front, and nobody's there. And Fond du Lac will clear. That one will go down for the icing. Minute 42 left in this one. Again, 6 men up front for the Shamrocks. They trail by 2 in this one. Held in by Hughes on the far side. Bieberitz puts it deep again. Rumplinger gets the stick on it. That one deflected. Off the shot by Eli. Bounced a little bit there, but Davidson again keeping it in front of him. Have a face-off here to his left-hand side. It'll be Lemry, the man in to take the draw. They'll tie up. And that one gets chopped through all the way down and finds its way to the back of the net. Lindemann back in the net now as Eli feeds for Bieberitz and on to Moore, who puts it deep. McDermott from behind for grab, held in by Bieberitz and sent on net there and deflected up and out of play off the stick of the netminder Davidson. Greb with the empty net goal there on the credit as that one hits off the rafters overhead. A little bit too much elevation on the clearing effort from McDermott. One minute remaining in the game as the puck hits the ice there. That one wrapped around, trying to hold it in was Eli, successful in doing so. Francis chases that one down, and it'll trickle across. Icing waved off. Greb didn't want to play that one. Instead, he'll sit and have a conversation with Eli there. A little bit confused on that play. Trying to send it across the net mount there. Walking it in. Rumplinger. His shot wide. Far side. Beekman looking to put it deep. Instead, Hughes got a stick on it. Or a skate on it, I should say. That one in front. Grab almost on the redirect. But good job by Lindemann there to keep it in front. 6 seconds remaining as that goes all the way down. We'll wave off the icing and just let that be the end of it. That'll do it for this one. Final score 4-1 in favor of the visiting Fond du Lac Bears. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Everybody have a pleasant evening and a good rest of your weekend.
For Shamrocks 1 and